Well, as always, welcome back. So, I have finally caved in and watched something that actually came out this last October. If you couldn't tell by the title of this video, that would be the little reboot slash limited series event in Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, a lot of you guys know, especially for those of you who have been kind of following me for a while, know that I'm usually one of the first to be all angry with reboots, remakes, whatnot. I'm very hard on them. I don't even mean to, but once again, it's just because I feel like there's so many remakes, reboots, and everything for literally the last almost 20 years. Well, throughout time, but I feel like the last 15, 20 years, so many things have been remade and everything. So I'm just like, ugh, for me, it's a little too much. But you know what? I like this. I liked it. I had a few issues with it. Not even issues, just little things, little gripes I have, which is not a bad thing. Like, no movie or show is ever going to be perfect, but hey, whatever. So yeah, this right here, like I said, it was the limited series event last October and everything. Was hearing so many positive things about it. There's a few criticisms, which some of them I kind of, I don't want to say totally agree with, but kind of like, I see where you're coming from. So the setup of this one is that there's this new girl coming to town and everything. She's a little bit of an artist. She does some sketches and everything, kind of like those creepy, scary ones and everything, creepy sketches and everything. We can tell that she has sort of this like recurring nightmare and everything. She gets to this new school, and a couple of kids kind of start befriending her a little bit. And what do you know? Some of these kids are part of the Midnight Society. And something that I do kind of like about this is they sort of show the process of these kids picking who they want in their little club to tell stories, which is something that I like. Cause like with the old series, the original one, even the sort of first reboot in 2000 or whatever it was, 1999, season 6 and 7. They never really like showed this. Like they would show new characters coming in, but they wouldn't really see like how they would pick these kids necessarily. And plus too, I feel like with the first one, I just thought of this. It was more of like people who the kids would like sponsor someone to come in or whatever, which was always kind of like, okay, whatever. But this one was, new kid or whatever. If they wanted to try someone new, they would kind of give them a series of questions, a few questions, presumably a question from each character, various things like, would you rather be a ghost or this? Do you prefer vampires or zombies? Blah, blah, blah. Like, all these different things, or vampires and werewolves. Like, all these different things, and she would have to kind of answer them and put them in these different hiding locations and everything. And then she finally gets the note of, hey, you know what? We want you to come tell a story. Don't tell anyone, blah, blah, blah. They even have one of the kids kind of in the group sort of asking her questions to see if she'll, cave in and say like, oh yeah, no, I'm writing this for this like little club and I'm not supposed to say anything, which was kind of smart. I liked it. It was kind of obvious with that one kid that was asking the sort of crush, where you kind of knew, like, okay, this kid's probably in the Midnight Society. They also have a little bit of a red herring where they have this other kid that kind of befriends her first to help her with her locker and everything, sits with him in lunch and everything, that you kind of think is going to be part of the Midnight Society, but he's not. But I like that, they had his character because he does come back again and everything. So this girl comes in, tells her story and everything of Top Hat Magoo or something. That's not really his name, Mr. Top Hat. I'm gonna call him Top Hat Magoo because I don't know. I like that name, kind of fits for him. But so she tells the story of this carnival of doom or whatever it is, and how there was a kid that goes missing or a friend that goes missing, and the next day when she sees it on the news and everything, or a couple of girls that she knows goes missing, she sees it on the news, and everyone, the news says like, oh, they disappeared, blah blah blah. If you have any information, she runs to her parents. She's like, Mom, Dad, I know what happened to him. Like, I last time at the carnival, and the parents are like, the carnival? What are you talking about? Like, their memories completely erased. No one has any recollection of this and everything. And, the story kind of ends with, oh, and even the little girl eventually over time kind of forgot about it and kind of forgot about the missing girls and everything. Well, after this story, what do you know? The carnival is back in town. It is this same one from the girl's story, and all the kids are like, not all kids, but the kids in the group are like, and then literally the sort of story plays out in this sort of reality, this faux pas reality for these kids and everything, and same thing once again happens, and then they're trying to sort of figure out what's going on, blah blah blah. Like, even her friends, the night after they go to the carnival, and after one of the kids' brothers disappears and whatnot, and what this other kid, Adam, I think it was the kid that kind of first befriended her, disappears and everything. They all kind of forget, like, oh no, I was at home. Oh, and she's like, no, like, we went to this carnival to look for this kid. Like, how can you forget? So then slowly she has to kind of remind them and get ways to, like, remind them how, like, what exactly happened and everything. So that is something I do kind of like, because I know that we did have that sort of happen. Not exactly, but something similar with season 7, the first 3 episodes, where the kids kind of are now in their own story. They got to work together to try and work things out and everything. I remember that one. Like, that's one that Tale of the Silver Sight is what I'm talking about. And that one, I mean, it's kind of cheesy, and really, we all remember that show was kind of, that initial run was, as much as we all love it, it was still pretty kid-like, very kid-like and everything. This one that we have is a little bit more of an older kid, early high school, maybe. I don't even know. I don't even want to say high school. Like, the kids are high school age in here, but definitely a little bit more of like an older kid crowd and everything. So, which is something I like. A little bit scarier, I'd say. But in season 7, we kind of had this similar, where it was like 3-episode event and everything. The kids trying to work together. So I kind of like that they did sort of that idea, and I feel like this one, this little limited series definitely did do it a little bit better. Like I said, I felt like it was a little bit more geared towards those sort of kind of older kids, and everything. So I like, and there was even like parts too, like especially at the beginning, I was kind of, ooh, I was like, I was really kind of getting into it, Kids were great, the actors were great and everything. I know there's the one young boy in here who was in it, the chunkier kid and everything. I was gonna say Henry, no, but whatever. So like he was in here. I because of that too, I kind of kept thinking of it, and this definitely did feel kind of like a sort of watered down version of it, and that's not even, I don't even mean that as like a bad thing. I really don't. It's more of a retelling and everything, which I like. Kind of plays on some of these kids' fears and everything, and all that. So, but no, this is definitely, like, it was really kind of decent. I mean, honestly, some of the criticisms I have about this is, I mean, as much as I do like the sort of like little mini story and everything that the kids have to go through, I wish they would have maybe, kept that idea, used the first 3 episodes to sort of do this, maybe tack on like 2 to 3 other episodes for this, just so that way we could have sort of like the traditional setup of Are You Afraid of the Dark, where the kids sit down, one of the kids tells their story and everything. I would have liked to see that, because like, that's, once again, that's what I like. That's what I loved about Are You Afraid of the Dark, the original run. It's one of those things that helped me kind of fall in love with anthology movies and everything, or even pushed me even more into love anthologies and everything. And I don't know if like people today just think that kids can't handle anthologies. Like I don't know if they don't think that they're smart enough to be able to kind of differentiate that. Oh, okay, so we're going from one story to another. Like kids are smarter than that. Like don't be afraid to do that. I know that was one of the criticisms I had for the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie, where I would have liked it to see more like a setup as a more of like an anthology type movie. But like I said, once again, I mean, not even like a bad criticism or anything. It's just one of those critiques that kind of would like to see a little bit more of like the traditional Are you afraid of the dark? But no, but this was definitely a, like I said, I had fun with this. I really did enjoy it, even with me always being like really hard on remakes and reboots and whatnot. But I mean, I hope that they do this again. Although I feel like with like the group of kids, I think they might be able to get away with like one other season, just like a quick little season like this. And that's the other thing too. Like they don't even need to make this into like a regular syndicated show like the original. If they want to do this every year around Halloween or in October, I mean, I'd be okay with that. Although, like I said, with doing that, you're probably not always going to be able to use the sort of same kids every single season. That's the only kind of downfall for this. But like I said, if they did something where, you know, they shot, say, even like 8 episodes, broke it up into 2 seasons, where one Halloween, you get another limited season, a limited run or whatever, and then following year get the rest of it or whatever, make it kind of 2 seasons. I would be okay with that, you know, honestly. And then every couple of years, maybe get a new group of kids. I don't know. I'm just saying, dude. I mean, just you know, because that's the thing with kids, you know, unlike with something like Creep Show or Twilight Zone, where you can maybe have a cast, well, even with Creep Show and stuff, you usually don't have like the same recurring cast in it, but with kids, it's really hard to do that, especially with limited runs of series, because kids grow up quickly, like especially during puberty, man. 1 year for a kid, man, night and day. I'm just saying. Like 1 year, kid might look kind of like little like kid and everything. Next year, you're kind of questioning, is this kid even legal? Like, I don't even know. Like, so that's what I'm saying, you know. But no, seriously though, guys, glad I picked this up. I actually did get this from work. It's pretty cheap at work. I think like 15 or just under around 15 there at Target. And I know when I got this, it was actually on our Target Circle app for, I think, like 15% off, plus my discount of 10%, plus I used my red card, so another 5%, so, like, I got 30% off of this. That was another big reason why I thought I'd get it, because savings! But yeah, you guys, so that is just kind of my little take. Let me know what you guys kind of think in the comments below. And if you haven't seen it yet, check it out! Check it out! I'm just saying, you might have fun with it. But till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.